Hello and welcome, fellow tankers. I've got 5 free loot boxes from the event and I'm gonna open them right here, right now, just for you, so you can see how it is done. The first one, it's nice and round and without shapes and not a box at all. It's something completely different than all the other times. Let's see what great stuff we might find in here. We got personal reserves, credits, a premium account and a middle finger from Wargaming. Isn't that nice? Great. Let's hop right into the next one. What could be in here? Number 2, credit booster, credit, 3 days of premium and a donkey's ass. Cool. What else? Oh, this is so worth all the money. I wish I would have bought 100 million so I can afford this nice boat, which you have seen here. This is the boat or the yacht Wargaming is now driving around in. So I'm speeding this up, so we are not wasting too much time here. You can see there are more Raumpfalters inside sometimes with 20% opportunity. Basically, it's all bullshit. Some days of premium and stuff, you don't need credits. And here we have one of the rarer alpha boxes. And what could be in here? And I was fucking insanely lucky. It's the fucking Medved. So, I can't recommend at all buying these boxes. This is a complete waste of time, not waste of time, of money, of your time you had to spend to earn this money, and then you can maybe be lucky and get a premium tank. I only recommend you to get the free loot boxes if you're playing anyway. Don't buy with stuff at all. It was crazy lucky to get any premium tank here, but I got it and I want to show you it, and just for you to know, this is not a crazy special tank, and maybe you will feel better after I have reviewed it. So you're not missing anything, actually. So let's first talk about the stats of the tank. They are pretty washed right now, because every newly released tank was played by super testers, and they perform very, very high in comparison with the rest of the tanks from the server. So they will drop, definitely. It will get lower, lower, lower. That's for sure, but just to get an overall impression a little bit, you can see also the Vercingetorix is performing quite good, and the Medved as well. Like I said, this will drop definitely, but this is what very, very good players can expect from the tank. They are still beneath the KP set and the concepts, which are not played only by super testers. They are actually kind of able to be played by good players who are able to get into silver or gold or even more. And then, this is still impression. They are not bad. They are also not extremely good, I think. Just for you to know, this is the overall MOE Excellent requirement right now, and we will see how it looks in around a month. I think they will still be good, actually. I think the Medved will still be in maybe the top 20. But maybe top 15 as well. I don't think it's getting so much higher, but who knows. Very good player can do insane stuff sometimes. We are gonna check now the overall stats. So you can see here, the tank is actually looking pretty slow, kind of. It's with 36 kilometers per hour top speed. It's nothing crazy, but it actually has a quite good power to weight ratio. So it will hit this top speed in quite fast time. The DPM for an autoloader, I think it's good. It has a high alpha damage of 440, not insanely high, but still high. It has good penetration, but the joke is actually you have a 325mm premium ammunition, and it's APCR, so it barely makes any sense to shoot AP just if you want to save some credits, which we all have to do normally, but some people don't give a shit. It also has kind of a strong HE shell with 68, I think, but you would have to load a whole clip for that, so I don't think it's worth it. With a gold ammunition, which is kind of costly, I think, with almost 5,000 per shot. This is, but what the tank is like having as a big advantage, a higher penetration on the gold shell. The thing is, the dispersion factors are actually looking not good. They are actually looking bad. So the thing is, you have a 4 clip and you can shoot, and then you have a 3.75 second intra-clip reload. I played it, you will see it later, and this thing is not working like, for example, the Shelby or the Burask or something like this, where you can like peek out, give a shot, give another shot, and then retreat. That almost 4-second intra-clip reload will have to make you retreat almost instantly. So that clip is mostly useful in endgame scenarios where you can like just drive into the enemy and dish out all your damage. The dispersion is also not good, but the aim time, it's like kind of mediocre to bad, but in game I think it was working out quite good, so you don't have to sit too long. But you're not a medium, sadly, so this is definitely something you will be experienced in game. I have compared this tank actually with the TNH, the tier 9 Czech tank, the tech tree tank. I think they are actually kind of similar, also they are something completely else. You will see the tech tree tank can be much faster, but also the power to weight ratio is worse, so it will need more time to get its top speed, but the top speed is at all from the tech tree tank higher, so advantage here, I think. And it has just a 2 size clip with an alpha. This was showing me, I think the same alpha, yes. A little bit lower penetration on the standard shell and better dispersion. The tech tree tank is more precise. It also has faster aim time. It's overall with better dispersion rates, I think, a more comfy to play tank. So it's just held down by its 2-shot clip, and then it has to go into reload for around 30 seconds. So the reload time actually on the tech tree tank is not so much faster than this one actually. So that's why the DPM actually from the tech tree tank is far worse. Let us check now the armor of the Medved. By the way, this is Czech language, and as far as I know, this means bear, which is kind of a cool name for a tank. So the bear, we can see, has kind of a strong head, but a weak body. The turret actually in-game, I was experiencing this stuff, is working kind of pretty well, because no one tries to shoot at your turret. They aim at it and they just say, okay, no, it's not worth it. I was wondering about that, because the turret is actually kind of big, but a lot of people are not even trying to hit your turret. If the enemy is shooting, for example, gold, they have kind of a chance to pen your turret, but somehow in my test games this wasn't the case. Also big spot here with that commander, or I don't know, driver hut or something like this. So you have always to play held down with 8 degree of gun depression, as far as I remember. Where is it? Here we got it, 8 degree of gun depression, and kind of a high gun elevation actually with 20 degrees. You can play on most maps kind of comfy, but still 8 degrees. I like it, but it could be better, kind of. You will notice you have to position yourself still pretty good to make this tank work, and I think it can, to a certain degree, also side scrape if you like angle your turret as well. Of course, you have to hide this part here, which is very hard to hide, so you almost never have like an opportunity where you have a stone like here and the enemy can still shoot here, or also this weak part here, and if the enemy is close he will hit that. But maybe you can bait out some shots with a very high angling side scraping, but I wouldn't count on that. This is something you can do maybe against lower tiers. For example, as a comparison, the armor of the tech tree tank from the Czechs is kind of the same. As it has a strong turret, weak hull, but it can, I think, side scrape actually a little bit better, besides the weak spot, which is always included here. But armor-wise, it's kind of the same playstyle. Maybe in direct comparison, actually, the bear, the Medved, has a little bit better hull, but I don't think it comes so much in action. So how I would make this tank work as best as possible is actually with only shooting gold, sadly. And then, just for example, check the dispersion factors. They are pretty bad. Let's take another tank in comparison. And with that I mean the Progetto 64 actually, because this is the tank I absolutely love because of its gun handling. And if you can see it here, let's just go very fast over the Progetto to try hard as much as possible. And go here, for example, also with the vents. There we are. And just to make it plastic here, the aim time is with around 2 seconds very fast, and these are the dispersion values you want to go for actually, like 12 on the move and like 7 at the just with the turret reverse. This is very good, and if you come close to that amount of number, you will have like a very comfy playstyle. So at least I like to play like this with a very good gun. So hopping back to the Medved, we can see like we have like 24, 24, 15. On the Progetto it was 12, 12 and 7. So let's try to go as much to this as possible, and we're gonna just put in here the tryhard equipment. That is helping actually pretty much already. But we can even go further with, for example, the improved final drive. And then we're already at kind of close to the Progettos. Already good gun handling, but in the Progetto you could also put that stuff, but I don't think it's necessary there, because at this number it was so comfy to play already with the aiming time, which you can't lower here so good actually, so that will still be a problem because it's 3 seconds and not 2. But we can put in here as well, where is it, the mobility system, tier 3, and this will make you faster and give you better dispersion values as well, and this tank really needs more top speed. It already has a very good power to weight ratio in my opinion, but with 41 you can really drive around quite good. And this will lower the dispersion. We are already now with 13 and 8, so we are so close. And we also put now some food in it. This is not enough for lowering this value already, but we can also make some tricks here with snapshots, move right. Always go for off-road driving. This tank is not suffering so hard from the terrain, but I think if you have like 4 or 5 skills already, you can also go for off-road driving to make your tanks actually faster in all terrains. So here we are, getting forward even in bad, soft terrain. And of course, yeah, you can go for the fuel range as well. Let's now make this tank as good as possible. Province arms as well, situational awareness as well, and when we actually have kind of a good setup for the gun, besides the still kind of long aim time, 263, well, but the dispersion factors are actually now kind of good. Let's check the Progetto. It was 12, 12, 7. We are now here with 13, 13, and 8. So this could be fun. The problem is I was test driving the Medved with another equipment, so I was putting in the bounty step and just improved, not improved, just the normal, whatever it's called, and the normal turbo. And then that were my stats actually, 15, 16, and 9. Still noticeable, like a little bit derby gun or long loading gun, but it was playable, definitely. So I was test playing it 20 games and I had an average damage of 1730. This is around the HP this thing has, so nothing too crazy. I also derped a little bit in some games, but well, it is what it is. I think it wasn't a too bad session actually. We have like 11 victories, 9 losses, sorry. But yeah, overall I would say this is something you can expect as an average player, and you can go higher with that depending on the map you get and the situational awareness, of course, you have with that clip. Sorry guys, I was forgetting to activate the sound in this replay. I hope you can forgive me this. First I want to show you now what the tank is capable of actually, if everything works out kind of good. And we're here on the map Erlenberg, and we are not knowing right now what we could do first actually, because I don't want to go to that city. I think that gameplay there is horrific. Sometimes you can play a little bit hull down, or you have to wait until a little part of enemy tank is sneaking out, so I'm not patient enough for this. We're also in a top tier scenario, not +2 or actually -2, so we're fighting against tier 8 tanks, still a big advantage. And I decide now here to actually wait for the enemy to try to play that castle. And I'm gonna speed this up here a little bit, because nothing much is really happening at first. Our team is fighting in the city, and here we are. First enemy is spotted, and now check that gun. This is what you can expect actually. Long distance shooting or sniping, no chance. Even the shot at the AAT-60 is not hitting, while it has actually almost no armor. This was not good aimed from me, but also could have penned actually with RNG. And this one, I don't know where it went, but this wasn't an easy shot as well. We are also fighting at the kind of few range distance here with 450 meters or 440 meters around that. So the gun is definitely not made for this. In theory, we could have like made now around 1700 damage, but it's not how it works. So here we go. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. It takes over 13 seconds, almost 40 seconds to reload that clip completely. And here I am, losing slowly my brain cells, waiting for something to happen. Here we see a little gun peeking out, and there it is. the E15 and finally we hit something. We are lucky. I don't know where his shot went actually, but didn't pen us. I guess it was somehow in the tracks. And we have to wait here. And I would also recommend not to go into reload. Actually play it as a single loader, in my opinion. As long as possible, kind of. If you don't know if that the enemy is like completely lost. Nice shot here, very lucky one through the house, through buildings. And the GST is also being hit by us, so the gun can work, but of course it's also always gambling RNG. And now we are in 40 seconds reload. So we have to make this work somehow. We're just trying to find here the next enemy, which might be able to be hit. The problem is they are now behind some stones, I think, so they are not completely visible. And now we have reloaded. So now every shot must count. At least they don't spot us here. And that little blind shot, or half blind shot, actually finished the E50. I could reload now, but I think now the enemy is doing something and I can't be AFK around for 40 seconds again. So I'm gonna just take my chance here and let those inside. And this one was a very lucky one. But just imagine if I wouldn't shoot gold here, the shells would be too slow to make such shots. And I guess the penetration wouldn't be also enough over that distance. So sadly, it's one of those heavy tanks. You kind of have to play with gold ammunition, which is like lowering the reason for playing a premium tank, in my opinion. And now we almost won this side. And with those tank destroyers in the back, I feel brave enough to push here. I'm gonna speed this up again. We're spotted, I don't know, from center or maybe from somehow around that corner. Maybe some fast tank was trying to retreat here. I was thinking of going up here and maybe help them in the city, but they are doing absolutely fine in the city without me. So I like to push actually here the left flank. If they win center, I could have also gone to the city and pushed there with the homies. But I didn't expect here now any more enemy tanks. Being aware that the convoy is not spotted yet, maybe that could have gone wrong badly, but I think they would have shot at me earlier. And the retreating KBZ is no match for us. And here we are with almost 3k damage now. And just to show you how this is without speeding up the game. You can drive around with your 40 kilometers per hour. You're kind of mobile, but not exceptionally mobile. You can swim with the other guys, but you can't like run around through the map or hunt someone down. This is almost not possible. Again, this shot wasn't so like impossible, but it didn't hit. It was of course long distance. But you really can't count on the shot. Always just do the snipe shots when you feel like you're staying safe and you don't have to have those shots in your clip, and you will need them very early. This 4-second intra-clip reload also is kind of annoying sometimes, because you know, oh, if I would have like, or if I would sit now in an Chow Murat, for example, I could do that double shot actually and then retreat. But in this case, you just have to work with what you have. I'm gonna speed this up again, because I have to wait now for my teammates to push the right flank. I hate those XM tanks. They are so hard to dig out, and they give you like 600 or 700 in return. And here we got 640. Bad enough. And I always try to shoot only fully aimed, because if you don't wait for that circle to go completely small, you will have a big problem, because the gun then derps completely around. So we're out now with 3500 almost, and now it's just the convoy. Still, he has kind of much HP, but we can't afford now to reload, because the reload is too long. So let's try to make this shot. Not going for the damage here, but at least we kill. So that's if everything works out pretty good, but we gotta take a look at if things are not working out so good. Let's check fast the post-game stats. Actually, we did here around 4k damage, and we got best damage in that match with almost the best XP. We are second place, but you can see here the problem is that is extremely expensive. Actually, without premium account I would have lost many credits, and even paying the ratios, the food for 10k and 5k for the repair and medkit and stuff like this, you will barely make money with that thing. This is kind of sad, I think. In the next battle I want to show you we are actually top tier again, but things are not working out so good in this setup. Actually, let's check it. We are gonna go to the west flank. Actually, I think this is the best possibility for our tank on this map. We are on Abbey, and let's speed this up. Or let's check how fast we are actually in comparison with the other tanks. It's nothing outrageous, but we are able to like flow with them. So we're a little bit faster than the AMX. Of course, yeah, the AMX M4. But the AMX 50, of course, he's going fast in front of us, the Type 61 as well. So let's speed this up here a little bit. So the top speed is absolutely fine. It's also being reached fast, so that's comfy to play. But you can't completely play it like in medium. This was an extremely lucky shot I got at the T10, so I could at least trade 1 for 1. To get up here, because I was thinking maybe I can play hull down here somehow. But then I was making up my mind that it might be better to try to shoot back at the dudes who want to cross now here or doing funny stuff like the T77. And here you can see, of course, the gun is not fully aimed. Sometimes, if not fully aimed, it's doing garbage, but you've seen here sometimes like the most insane shots are hitting them. This is just typical World of Tanks. So let's wait here. We are already not so good HP wise, and we lost some HP to the T77. And now I have to do some shots to help my teammates here with ST1. That was not a good idea. But at least the AMX is shielding me a little bit. Sadly, I was underestimating that the enemy can pen me actually kind of everywhere when I drive out like this. Also, it's extremely hard to play just hull down in that position, especially if there are 2 other teammates who play this position. So the trade wasn't good. But here we are, and I'm not going to go to reload the gun. Because like every second counts here, and sometimes the enemy is doing some funny peeks or stuff like this. And when I want to be ready, I'm gonna speed this up again. And we can see already east side was lost, center is now lost as well. And this whole battle is turning to be an absolute defend mission on the last stand we are having here. But I don't think I could have done something else actually. Still trying to figure out what to do. My team is retreating now, and they want to fight the enemy from this balcony, but I have so many bad experiences on that balcony. The enemy can always like just shoot inside of it. So I'm trying here now to hold off. Maybe I should have gone into reload, then I would have had more shells here, 2 more actually. I'm trying to side scrape now a little bit here, but it's not working. And even if we did 1k more damage, we're just like losing or using the end game to dump out a clip. But for like carrying a game, I think this tank doesn't offer enough. Fast look at the post-game stats with around 2k damage, nothing too crazy, but we have been actually the second place in damage and in XP, and we lost kind of money with food and stuff. So really in a losing match, whoa, you don't actually want to sit maybe in that tank. So the last replay I've got for you is on El Haluf, and we are low tier now in a, yeah, just normal ±1 tier matchmaking. But I think this will give you the most realistic impression if you are like playing against tier 10 tanks. We are trying now, obviously, the only region we can go here on this map, which makes sense, and trying to help our teammates. You can see the matchmaking right now is kind of like unplayable at high tier, with a lot of tier 10 tanks which are just busted, just bustingly OP. And let's see what we can do here. So I'm trying here as best as possible to play hull down somehow. But the enemy is doing, of course, the same, and we have so many strong hull down tanks now in this game. That gameplay is kind of frustrating and very, very annoying. We got a lucky shot at the can opener lower plate. Of course I don't go into reload here because I want to be ready. And now I wasn't thinking, or I was thinking about the Badger's weak spots, those little turrets that got left and right, those little like things and those little tits he got, and I didn't pen them sadly. And I'm getting reminded that we have already in the back enemy tanks now. The Felice was trying to hit me, got a bad shot at me, hitting somehow my tracks. And here we are now, waiting for something to happen that we can help with. Of course, I think it's better to do the work, or let the tier 10s work now, because we have most likely this better gun for this job. I can't really snapshot. I can just try to bounce a little bit with a turret maybe, but I wouldn't count on that. So we have already an MBTB in the back and a standard B, and we are now trying to defend ourselves. And we are surrounded. This looks very, very bad. And now I can at least try to play this position here, maybe the only position which makes sense. Getting an HE shell from a can opener, I was wondering which guy he was aiming at actually. I think the standard B from our team. But I can't push here because then I'm just dead meat. Looks good HP wise, but the Badger can play hull down there. Now he's getting rushed by the Centurion, and maybe I should have helped the Centurion at this point, but I was thinking, whoa, okay, he's like surrounded by 4 tanks now, and what can I do there? Looking at the HP, the enemy is pretty low actually, and the Centurion wins the fight against the Badger. I don't know how he did it. But at least I can do here now a nice shot at the can opener to help him a little bit. Still we got 2 in the clip. And at this point I should have pushed now. It's pretty obvious we can go here now forward. Was a little bit slow for me. Now I'm trying to play hull down against the can opener. But I don't see any chance here because that area is not made for -8° gun depression. It's just not enough, and I would show my upper plate actually and just get shots from him. That's why I decided to help the Object 705 here. After the E100 had shot, aiming. It wasn't completely aimed, fully aimed, but it was close enough. And now we got that 40 seconds reload basically. But we can push here. Still we don't have much damage on our tank. But I really don't know. I have played it differently. Gonna flank now the MBT. I could have like gone directly to him, towards him, but I was thinking, okay, maybe like his friends are sitting there somehow in a bush and can outplay me. So I was driving a little bit too far away here, so if I would have stayed closer to that hill, I could have like circled that MBT better. You can see like the speed is okay, you're always like at 35 or 40. And it wasn't enough, just a second. That wasn't a problem of the tank speed, just a problem of being a little bit unlucky with recognizing him being behind that hill. But now actually still the game is over. Because always the faster tanks have an advantage, especially in late game. And now we are searching for that 148. I can really go fast here, because I can already tell you, this dude, he's not hanging on that crazy little rock, which is very known for arty players to hide there, because they think, okay, maybe somehow they will not be found. This dude is really like trying to make the best out of it. Hiding in that bush, getting rammed by us, and the reload wasn't fast enough, the intra-clip reload wasn't fast enough to give him the second shot. So that's the tank in a nutshell, I think, and I hope it summed it up enough. So a final look at the post-game stats. Again, we did around 2k damage, nothing crazy here, so we are still under the best 5 tanks in XP. And damage-wise, it wasn't good, for sure. Maybe also a problem of the tanks, long reload actually. And yeah, we did lose so much credits actually in the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hoped it helped you a little bit. I felt a little bit obligated to make a video about it because I was so lucky and got a free tank in the boxes. A lot of people are not talking about the loot box tanks. I can completely understand this. I actually support this. But also I think some people just want to know what they are fighting against, or if they have luck and draw that tank, maybe it's okay to just show how it's being played. I cannot support the loot box system or what Wargaming is going towards to. I absolutely disagree with this, but I also have to say, with me, they don't make much money at all. I don't buy stuff if it's not in a good deal, and I barely have any premium days. You saw I have around 3 days left, and that's because of free loot boxes. I had those 8 days in the loot boxes, so I'm not supporting this new system at all, and I hope you guys don't buy boxes because you want to get a tank or something like this. Do with your money what you want, but I think there's a million better ways to spend your money, and with that, I just can say, I hope you still enjoy the game, and let's see just how it will all work out the next months and weeks, and what's is waiting for us. I still like to play that game, but seeing it's becoming worse and worse in this aggressive monetization, it's just sad and delusional, kind of. But I wish you all the best on the battlefield. Thanks guys for watching, and cheers bros.